trend that is surprising the experts. Despite decades of advancements in healthcare, diet, and safety, middle-aged white Americans are now living shorter, not longer lives. Our economics correspondent reports in the latest installment of Making Sense.
Maysville, Kentucky, in the northeast corner of the state, just a short bridge away from Ohio. Despite some merchants' best efforts at cosmopolitan outreach, the downtown is struggling. But at one local establishment, business is brisk and growing.
This is a Batesville 20-gauge steel protector.
This one is Churchill blue.
Churchill blue. We can get this in a misty rose for ladies.
David Lawrence manages the Knox & Brothers Funeral Home, is also the county coroner. He's been seeing a lot of dead white males of late, especially ages 45 to 54.
A lot of it due to alcohol or drug abuse.
There has been a Denham practicing medicine.
Craig Denham wears multiple hats too.
This small bag is my grandfather's medical kit.
A fifth-generation Kentucky family physician.
My great-great-grandfather's.
He's also medical director for the fire department's emergency service.
In the past 2.5 years, we've had about a 300% increase in the drug-related overdose ambulance runs, and the prevalence of opiate addiction in this area continues to increase.
He's like, Mom, it's nothing that you did. It's me.
Becky Manning's son got hooked on drugs. Fortunately, he's still alive.
Almost 40 now.
But she blames the drugs in part for her husband's suicide.
He just carried this tremendous guilt for everything, you know, for our son doing drugs. Then he started getting depressed, and then my husband took his own life.
How did he do it?
He blew his head off. I came home to that.
Best friend Marcy Connor's husband also killed himself.
He developed alcoholism very young in life.
An addiction he shared with lifelong friends.
One died with a heart attack, but drug use and alcohol use all the way through his life. Another one died of cancer, drank up to the very end. And my husband actually had a G-tube in, a feeding tube in, and poured alcohol down his feeding tube until he died.
Alcohol poisoning.
These cases fit a disturbing national pattern. Though U.S. life expectancy has been going up steadily over the last century, there's now been a sudden and dramatic reversal for just one demographic.
White non-Hispanics in America in middle age are dying in large numbers.
That was certainly a huge surprise to me.
Economists Angus Deaton and Ann Case, who are married, published their finding just after Deaton won the 2015 Nobel Prize in Economics.
Professor Angus Deaton.
The paper showed that starting in 1999, the death rate of middle-aged white Americans has been going up instead of down.
And we thought we must have made an error. I mean, the whole world is getting better. This middle-aged group is the one that's benefited most, at least since 1970, from advances in the treatment of heart disease, from people quitting smoking, all of those things. And then suddenly for this trend that's going down just to reverse out, seemed like it had to be wrong, but it was not wrong.
The big increase was in what Case calls deaths of despair, alcohol-related liver disease, suicide, drug overdose.
People kill themselves slowly with alcohol or drugs, or quickly with a gun. For people aged 50 to 55, for example, those rates went from 40 per 100,000 to 80 per 100,000 since the turn of the century. And it's people with a high school degree or less who are killing themselves in these ways in large numbers. That's the group that's getting hammered.
And now the CDC is paying more attention to that age group and demographic.
Ellen Kumler, a public health doctor from Mason County, Kentucky, says the latest data from the Centers for Disease Control pick up where the Case Deaton study leaves off.
When we look at the suicide rate, when we look at unintentional injuries, a lot possibly related to substance abuse, as well as liver disease, the rates of those issues have actually increased.
Marcy Connor is a nurse specializing in substance abuse who has experienced deaths of despair time and again in her own family.
I had a brother that committed suicide also.
And two cousins, one of them a nurse.
And he started telling me that his depression medication wasn't working as well, and pain medication wasn't working as well, and he lost his temper at work one night and got fired.
Got fired.
They found him hanging in his garage.
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Now, what you just seen right here, okay, in this video from PBS, which I will, okay, put this video website in the description box, all right, is the death and despair of the so-called white race, mainly the so-called white man, all right? Now, I know you probably heard me giggling, but this is funny, all right? This is funny because you so-called white people, man, this is your kingdom, and you're blowing each other's heads off, okay? You're killing each other, you're killing yourselves off, excuse me. You're hanging yourself, all right? And you're doing drugs, alcohol, all right? And it's funny because you're seeing your race, okay, in total despair. Now, I got the first scripture to bring out because this is pertaining to you so-called white people. Proverbs 16:18. Pride goeth before destruction. Right. You so-called white people, the most pridest people on the planet, especially here in America. And yet, you are seeing yourselves, okay, internally, okay, dying. All right. And this video right here just recently came out too. Look at this woman, all right? Her brother was a nurse, and because he got fired, lost his temper, and he was taking prescriptions for his depression, and he's a nurse, he hanged himself when he got fired, all right? Talk about pride goeth before destruction, man, all right? So Proverbs 16:18, pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. And that's what's so funny about you so-called white people, man. All right, you're the most prideful people on the planet. You think you got the whole world figured out, yet you're the number one right now in America. Okay, offing yourselves, man. You can't handle reality, man, because you know America's going down, and it's funny. It's funny. You guys are killing yourselves off, man. All right. Book of Psalms, chapter 137, verse 7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom. Right. This is us, okay, the Israelites, man, all right, of the elect. Lord willing, I'm part of the elect. But we're telling the Lord, remember, O Lord, remember the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem. Right. What's this talking about? This is talking about in the time of when the Babylonians were ruling and they invaded us, and you Edomites, you saw what happened, man. And what did you say? Who said, raise it, even the foundation there, right? All right. You saw our city get destroyed, all right, by these Babylonians, and you all cheering for it. So we're telling the Lord back then to remember it. Okay, remember, all right? And he hasn't forgotten. That's why you're seeing, okay, these crackers, man, are dying by the droves. All right? You're killing yourselves off, all right? This shit is funny. All right? Verse 8, O daughter of Babylon, all right, right, because this is talk about America, all right, because you are the daughter of Babylon, all right, you take on the Babylonian customs, who are to be destroyed, all right, who's going to be destroyed, all right, this is nothing, man. You so-called white people, you haven't seen the martial law kick in, the famine in America, the thermonuclear war that's coming, as well as when the Lord comes with his chariots, which you ignorantly call UFOs. Happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us, right? Because you served the children of Israel, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, okay, terribly, all right? You have broken us down as a people. So now the Lord is breaking you down as a people by bringing your kingdom down. Hence why you're now committing suicide, all right? And it's funny. Don't get it twisted. I got more articles for y'all, all right? Be patient, you so-called white people, if you're watching this, all right? So now let me get to, so happy shall he be, So let me zoom up on this again. Happy shall he be, right? Shall he be? That's starting with our big brother Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, all right? Who's a so-called black man, all right? As well as us, okay? Mainly here at Great Millstone, man. We're happy, man. That rewarded thee as thou hast served us, right? So he's rewarding you now with these plagues, man. All right, so let's get to another plagues of the mind. Let's get to another article. All right. This is from CNBC. I'm going to read this. It says, what are so many of them doing? 95 million not in the U.S. labor force. Okay. So this is from CNBC, your beloved financial channel, America. All right. It goes on and says, excuse me, that's Satan working right here. The number of jobs reports looked pretty good on the surface, except for one number that popped off the page. 95 million. That's the number of Americans now counted as not in the labor force, a historic high that has confounded economists and policymakers. The total, 95.6 million to be more exact, has been rising consistently, but surged by a gaudy 446,000 last month. Right, so what does this mean? Meaning your unemployment rate is only talking about those claiming unemployment. These people here are off the map, meaning they're not claiming unemployment and they're not trying to find a job or anything. That means they're just living on whatever they have, or whatever they're stealing or whatever they're begging for, okay? It says the jump occurred as the U.S. economy added 178,000 jobs and the headline unemployment rate dropped sharply. Explaining the consistent increase on those leaving the labor force is complicated, with factors divided between an aging and rapidly retiring workforce, a skills gap that leaves job openings unfilled, and the nettlesome problems of too many people who find it just easier to collect welfare and other transfer payments rather than go back to work. Quote, what the F are so many of them doing? Peter Bookvar, chief market analyst at the Lindsay Group, said in a note after the non-farm payrolls report. Bookvar used a crude online expression that nicely sums up the continued frustration with America's shrinking labor force. All right? So there you have it, man. And for all these retirees, these people that are retiring, man, they're still out there struggling as well, all right? So this is just proof that you so-called white people, man, America, you're going down, man. All right, it says it right here, 96 million not in the labor force, all right? So that's the reason why you're doing drugs, all right? You're committing suicide and drinking so much alcohol. Let's get to another article right here. The Washington Post. This came out March 24th. The disease killing white Americans goes way deeper than opioids, right? Because that's another thing you so-called white people are on, man. You're on all types of opioids, man. And if you can't get your opioids, that's when you jump to heroin, all right? And how would I say this, man? Y'all a bunch of junkies, man. A bunch of bums, all right? You so-called white people. And it's funny, man. It's lovely to see this happening to your people. In rich countries, death rates are supposed to decline. But in the past decade and a half, middle-aged white Americans have actually been dying faster. Princeton economists, let's zoom that in. This is from Princeton. Princeton economists Annie Case and Angus Deaton first pointed out this disturbing trend in a 2015 study that highlighted 3 diseases of despair: drugs, drinking, and suicide. Woo! Let's get to a scripture, all right? Because this is beautiful. All right, let's zoom back up. Salakia, Satan messing with my computer. All right. Deuteronomy 30, verse 6. And the Lord thy power will circumcise thy heart and the heart of thy seed, to love thy Lord thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul, that thou mayest live. Right, and this is talking about the children of Israel. All right, he's circumcising our heart, okay, our seed. And you're seeing every day more and more blacks, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans turning to the Lord, man, finding out their true nationality, that they're Israelites, okay? So as this is happening, jump to verse 7. And the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. Right. So now our enemies, starting with the so-called white man, all right, you Edomites, okay, The Lord is putting the curses upon you. See, in the 80s, the 70s, the 60s, man, with all the drug epidemic, especially the 80s, the crack era, all right, it was affecting black and Hispanic communities. But now, in 2017, it's affecting mainly you so-called white people, you Edomites, all right? The devil the Bible speaks of, all right? It's affecting you. And now you're on drugs, now you're drinking, and now it's suicide, all right? And it's beautiful. The curses are coming upon you, crackers, man. All right? You bunch of junkies, lowlives, okay? And this is beautiful, man. It's time for you to get your just judgment. And this is just the beginning, all right? Like I said, you ain't seen nothing yet. On Thursday, continue on with this article, the pair released a deeper analysis that clears up one of the biggest misconceptions about their earlier research. The problem of dying whites can't only be blamed on rising rates of drug overdoses, suicide, and chronic alcoholism, they say. More and more middle-aged white Americans are dying for all kinds of reasons, and the underlying issue may have less to do with opioids and more to do with how society has left behind the working class. Ooh. So why are you killing yourselves off? You're not able to work. You're not able to find jobs either, okay? So the Lord's breaking down, okay, your means to live. And that's why you're jumping now to the drugs and the alcoholism and the suicide, all right? Because you can't face reality. Because you're so prideful, you're like, damn, I'm not able to move up in the world anymore. So I'm going to take all the drugs, drink all the alcohol, and then blow my head off, all right? That's the nature of you so-called white people, man. All right, you're weak. You have a weak mentality, man. All right, you don't know how to suck it up like the so-called blacks and Hispanics who've been living at the bottom, okay, since the curses came upon us, man, when we broke the laws, all right? And if you want to get to modern times, right here, all right, what you'd like to say modern, right here, the inception of America, man, we've been at the bottom, but we've been enduring. We always take it on the chin and we smile, man, and we go to work and we work our asses off. But you crackers, man, if you can't find work, you killing yourselves off, and it's lovely, man. This shit is funny. Quote, ultimately, we see our story as about the collapse of the white, high school educated working class after its heyday in the 1970s and the pathologies that accompany that decline, they write. So let's get to another scripture, okay? Ecclesiastes chapter 12. This is King Solomon, chapter 12, verse 4. And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and the daughters of the music shall be brought low. Okay? So the sound of the grinding has been brought low. And Slakia, let me get to another scripture because there's another one that I want to get. Slakia. Change it up just a little bit. Here we go. This is 3. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, starting at 3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few. Right. There's no more jobs for you crackers, man. You're running out. There's no more employment, okay? Your businesses are closing down, okay? They're going offshores, all right? Especially retail. Let's get it in. Look at this. Business Insider. The retail apocalypse has officially descended on America. That's right. What made America so great was retail, okay? Your malls, your shopping centers. Now that's plummeting, and that's why you crackers can't find work, man, because mainly they hire you crackers, man, all right? Thousands of mall-based stores are shutting down in what's fast becoming one of the biggest waves of retail closures in decades, all right? So not only is the other sectors of employment in America closing down or moving offshore, you're even having retail, all right, closing down, all right? That's why the scripture says, let's go back one more time, Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 3, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. Right, man. The grinders have ceased, man. No more employment, man. Retail's closing down. More than 3,500 stores are expected to close in the next couple of months. Department stores like JCPenney, Macy's, Sears, and Kmart are among the companies shutting down stores, along with middle of the mall chains like Crocs, BCBG, Abercrombie and Fitch. Abercrombie and Fitch. This was white America right here, man. This was suburban America. All right, if you weren't rocking Abercrombie and Fitch, you weren't part of the suburban white class. And guess, come on, you crackers are going down, man. So this funny that's why you're killing each other off, man. All right, what are Deaths of Despair? That's right, Deaths of Despair. That's the title of this video, Deaths of Despair, man. Some retailers are exiting the brick and mortar business altogether and trying to shift to all online model. All right. Let's get to it. Let's show you the graph right here, man. Look at that. Payless. Payless is closing down 1,000 stores. Radio Shack, The Limited, Family Christian, that's a joke right there. Wet Seal, Bebe, Crocs, Staples, CVS, Macy's. Come on, man. You so-called white people are finished, man. Your grinders have ceased. Let's get it right here. According to many analysts, the retail pockets have been a long time coming in the U.S., where stores per capita far outnumbered that of any other country, right? So this was what made America, so grand, was your retail stores, man. And now look, finished, finito, man. So let's go back to the scriptures again. Ecclesiastes, because it's all about the scriptures, man. It's all about the Lord. This is how we're magnifying, the God of Israel, man. All right, the Most High, who's Yahweh, and his son, Yahweh Shai, all right, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. Verse 4. And the doors shall be shut in the streets, and that's what's happening. Closing, okay? No more in business, all right? What are you seeing outside? Everything must go, okay? When the sound of the grinding is low, right? Okay, businesses are closing all throughout America, all right? And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and the doors of music shall be brought low too. Right, even the music is garbage, man. All right, you're seeing the quality of music here in America is turned to shit. That's because this kingdom is over, man, and we're seeing it. All right, so this is more. So Donald Trump ain't making America great again. In fact, Donald Trump is going to bring the apocalypse, which is the Third World War, man. All right, and he's doing a great job, man. He's continuing following the steps of what the Illuminati are telling him to do, man. All right. So why is this all happening? All right. Why is this happening? One, because the Lord is bringing down America. America, it's time for your judgment. But of course, let's get to another scripture. Because the Lord hates you, so-called white people, man, who are the biblical Edomites. Malachi chapter 1, verse 1. The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Jacob Esau's brother? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Saith the Lord. Yet I love Jacob. All right, and that's really the point, man. Okay, yeah, you are a brother. Okay, you're evil twin brother, but the Lord separated us. Okay, and He chose us. He loved us, right? And He gave us the blessings. He gave us, the children of Israel, the blessing, because Jacob is the progenitor, all right, of the 12 tribes of Israel. That's why He says, yeah, I love Jacob. Verse 3, and I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Right, this is when Rome fell. All right, your governments of Rome and wherever you ruled that's when you fell. Rome fell down. All right, that's when the Holy Roman Empire came in, and the Byzantine Empire, and that's during the Dark Ages. That's when so-called black men were ruling Europe. All right, that's what that's history that you crackers try to hide. But guess what? All right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, He woke up the men, of great millstones with our apostles who taught us this history, man, who showed us, hey, no, man, we have a grander history than just slavery or 1492 when Christopher Columbus came, okay? All right, there's more to history than just what you so-called white people have been putting out in the public schools. That's another reason why the Lord hates you, man. You're a bunch of liars, man. And I hated Esau and laid his mountain and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Verse 4. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Right. You came back during the Renaissance, 1492. You started conquering the known lands of the world. That's the term colonialism kicked in, right? Then you started the transatlantic slave trade. You bring the southern kingdom, which make up Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, all right, from the west coast of Africa, as well as Europe, over here to America and the islands in the Caribbeans, as well as the reverse transatlantic slave trade with the indigenous people on this side, and which are the northern kingdom, the so-called blacks and Hispanics, all right, and you sold us over to the eastern hemisphere, all right, and so and that was you building, man. Then you built America with slavery, as well as stealing the land of the so-called Native Americans, which is the tribe of Gad, as well as the so-called Seminole Indians, which is the tribe of Reuben. All right? So this is what you building, okay? So you did all this. You were building the desolate places, but guess what? What did the Lord say? Thus saith the Lord of hosts. They shall build, right? You build, right? Here it is. This is what you built. America, the most filthiest nation on the planet, who promotes homosexuality, transgender, all this fuckery, man. They shall build, but I will throw down, right? And the Lord's throwing down. He's bringing you down. Hence why you crackers are often are killing yourselves, all right? And they shall call them, right? They're going to call you so-called white people, you who are the biblical Edomites, the border of wickedness, right? Because wherever you put your foot at is nothing but pure wickedness. And you see it, all right? You see it in this world, how it's pure evil in this world, wickedness. And the people, so I'll get back to the scriptures, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever, meaning righteous hatred, all right? And he has a righteous hatred against you white people. Hence why he's killing you white people off, all right, by putting these plagues on your mind, man, and bringing your nation down, all right, by mainly bringing America down. And you're seeing it, man, because America is supposed to be the light, right? Supposedly the Statue of Liberty, but that light's fading out. So is there anything more in this article before I jump to another article? It says right here, the alarming fact isn't just that middle-aged whites are dying faster, but also that mortality rates have been dramatically declining nearly every other rich country. The United States is getting left behind. All right, right, because America is finally being judged for its wickedness. Also, the reason why the European countries don't see a dramatic decline in death is because they're not producing as many children, all right? Because the cost of living is so high in Europe, your Europeans are only producing maybe 1 or 2 children, all right? And it's going to say here, in the last 15 years, a chasm opened in between middle-aged whites in America and citizens of European countries like France, Germany, and United Kingdom. While white death rates in America rose slightly, death rates in those other countries continue to plummet, right? Like I said, you don't produce as much as children. All right, you Europeans, you're still Edomites, but you don't produce as many children as the American Edomites, all right, have been producing. The situation of American whites looks much more dire, and it's a bigger problem than Opez or suicides can explain. It's not just about what went wrong in America, but what stopped going right. Right, all right? You have reaped what you sowed, and it's time for your judgment, okay? Let's get back to the... let me go. Is there another scripture right here? All right. Yeah. You know what? Let me get to another one. This is from Daily Mail. All right. It says heroin abuse rises 5-fold among white American adults in a decade. Shocking research reveals. Heroin use is on the rise among white American adults. A new study has warned. All right. Here's another article. All right. So this is how you make you're proving all things, okay? This is sourcing everything out. So this is not just me just talking out, making things up, all right? This is how we here at Great Millstone, man, we stick it to you with the truth, all right? We use your own current events against you, and we filter it through the scriptures, all right? And with that being said, you so-called white people are finished, man, all right? Deaths of despair, all right? Get used to it. America is over, all right? And you're never coming back. The use of heroin on the rise among white American adults, a new study warns. You guys are fucking disgusting. You're a bunch of fucking bums, man. You white people, you so-called white people, man, are the filth and the scum of the earth, man. All right? Bunch of fucking junkies. Here it is. You're supposed to be the have a ruling class mentality, and you're sticking yourselves with fucking needles, man. That's how you know America's over, man. Look at you, fucking pathetic. All right? Whites between the ages of 18 and 44 accounted for the biggest rise in heroin addiction, which has been fueled in part by the misuse of opioid prescription drugs. Right. The study conducted at Columbia University. Yo, these are studies, man. These are your studies being conducted that you so-called white people, man, are through. Approximately 80,000 adults were interviewed in person by research and were asked questions about whether or not they have ever used heroin in their life and whether or not they had a heroin use disorder. Heroin use disorder means that a person is unable to stop using the drug even if he or she would like to, and the drug interferes with the person's life and social functioning. All right? Look at these. 3 women seen slumping over due to effects of heroin. Look at them crackers. Look at them. Look at that. Is there anything more to... Is there anything more? Although a jump was seen among women, it was not as prominent as for men, right? Because you saw it's the mighty men of America, man, the so-called white man, all right, you're falling down, all right, and it's hitting you, all right, and if women can't lead. Women are emotionally creatures, man. So you so-called white man, if you're sticking yourselves with the needle, you can't lead either. That's how you know America's over, man. All right, is there any more videos? Look at this. I think look at that. Let me rate this. Look at this. Look at that junkie right there. Slovakia. What? See, that's Satan right there. Don't want me to show exactly what was going on here. But if you can hear it. But look at that junkie. Look at that junkie. Look at that. That's America for you, man. Doped out. Right in front of their children. White America. All right? You know what, man? Fuck it. I have to laugh, man. This shit is funny. All right? Get to Amos chapter 1, starting at 6. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 Salakia. Let's get back. Amos chapter 1, verse 11. That's the scripture I was looking for. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishments thereof. Right, the Lord's not turning away the punishments on you so-called white people, man. For your transgressions. So the punishment's coming upon you, and you're seeing it, man. Because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. Right. You kept your wrath forever. You always pursue us with the sword. That's why you're constantly killing us on the streets through your wicked ass police force. All right, as well as all your economic sanctions upon us, man. All right, gentrification, all these different terminologies to press us. All right, because you had a perpetual hatred towards us, and that's the reason why the Lord put these curses upon you and made you fucking junkies, man. All right. Because you're a bunch of fucking junkies. Verse 12, but I will send a fire upon Timon, which shall devour the place of Basra. Right, because this is nothing. Eventually, the Lord is going to allow these other countries to lob intercontinental ballistic missiles on America, man. Okay, and burn you crackers up, man. Let's go back to another scripture. Lamentations 4:21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom. Right. I mean, this is kind of a twofold, right? We always say to you so-called white people, man, that are listening, y'all should be living it up, man. I mean, I don't know. I don't consider injecting yourselves with heroin living it up. But if that is what makes you have fun, then fuck it, right? You're doing us a favor by killing yourselves off, man. It's fucking beautiful. But rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shall make thyself naked. Right. You're being revealed as being the wicked on the planet. Okay, you so-called white people. All right. The Lord has revealed it to us, and we're bringing it out. And then the Lord is showing the whole world who you devils are, man. Verse 22, the punishment of thy iniquities accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. Right, this is our last captivity, which is here in America, all right? And now that more and more so-called blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans are waking up to their true biblical nationality out on the streets prophesying, all right? We're seeing the downfall of America, man, and you, which is you so-called white people, man, because you are the symbol of America. He will visit thy iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. Right, the Lord's coming back, and he's going to get you so-called crackers. But first, he's plaguing your minds, man. It's beautiful, all right? Last article, because this is right here in my state in Florida, just to show you the patheticness of these crackers, man. And it's just fucking hilarious, man, how much of a dope fiend you crackers are. And then we get to the final scriptures and close out. Babysitter 46 passes out from a heroin overdose at a gas pump with a toddler in her car, and latest reminder of America's opioid epidemic. Now, when you read this article, right, automatically you're like, what kind of person can go and inject themselves with heroin while gassing up at the pump while having a child in their car seat? All right? Well, we're going to show you that kind of person. That's right. The face of wickedness. All right? You so-called white people, man. All right? And this is you, the so-called white woman. All right? Yet you look at us, the so-called black, Spanish, and Native Americans, as a bunch of thugs, savages, low-life scum. Yet you, this cracker bitch right here, can't even wait to go home to get her fix on. She has to inject herself at a gas pump right here in Florida, man. All right? And that's another thing about you Floridians. You crackers here in Florida, man. You're fucking pathetic, man. You're morons out here, man. Every time I go to work, I drive by, go grocery shopping, I can see you're this clueless, lost. That sun has baked, has fried your fucking brains, man. You're fucking pathetic people, man, here in Florida. A heroin-using babysitter has been arrested after police found her passed out at a gas pump with a toddler in the backseat of her car. Bambi Taylor, 46 years old, was looking after a 2-year-old girl and had decided to take her out for a drive because the youngster was restless, she told police. She had driven to Cumberland gas station. First responders, administrator, narcon, suspected heroin overdose, and Taylor, let me zoom this back up. See, Esau always trying to fuck up because they hate when you expose them, man, these devils. All right, if it's the FBI, CIA, if you're fucking up my computer, fuck you and die. All right, America's still going down. I'm still gonna bring this word out. All right, she has since been charged with one count of child abuse without great bodily harm. Meanwhile, the girl was returned to the custody. Blah blah blah. This incident is the latest reminder that America's caught in the grip of a heroin epidemic. Right there, man. This dumb bitch, fucking cracker. All right, now I'm gonna show you the picture. There she is. There they are. Look at them. Dope heads, dope fiends, man, with the child in the back. That's America right there, man. Take a look. That's America right there. This is the mentality of you so-called white people, man. That's why it irritates me that you so-called black, Spanish, and Native Americans want to emulate these crackers, man. Look at them, man. They're scum. They're fucking junkies, man. They're lowlives, right? This is who they really are. Pathetic animals, man. And that's why the Lord is bringing this bitch down, man. Shit is fucking hilarious. Let's continue. Last scripture. Lamentations chapter 3, verse 64. Render unto them a recompense. Recompense meaning a payback, O Lord, according to the work of their hands. Right. This is what happens when you touch the apple of the eye of the Israelites, the so-called black, Spanish, and Native Americans, you so-called white people who are the biblical Edomites. You're Esau, you're Edom. All right? So the Lord's paying you back. Verse 65. Give them a sorrow of heart. Give them a sorrow of heart. That's right. Your mind is plagued now. You're seeing America going down. You're seeing Donald Trump engaging in various wars. Okay? You're seeing your stores, your shopping centers, your grinders, your businesses closing up. All right? Thy curse. So give them a sorrow of heart, thy curse onto them. Right? Curses. Curse them. All right? Bring the curse onto them. And that's what's happening. You're being cursed, so-called white man. You're being cursed, you so-called white people who are the Edomites. Verse 66. Persecute and destroy them in anger from under the heavens, O Lord. That's right. Persecute and destroy them in anger from under the heavens, O Lord. And what's under the heavens? Right here in America, the planet Earth. All right? So judgment is here on the earth, and they're seeing it. And you so-called white people, man. All right? This is who you're going to be known as. The biggest junkies and lowlives on the planet. And the Lord has got you. All right? So it's lovely. All right? It's beautiful that you're going down. And it's funny, man. So my recommendations, if you want me to give you a consultation, to be a consult to you, hey, continue doing the drugs, continue killing yourselves off, all right? Continue drinking to your heart content, man, because you're going into slavery. Your kingdom of America's through, all right? And it's time for us, the Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel, all right, who make up the so-called black expanse and Native Americans to rule over you devils, man. All right? So, live it up, man. Continue doing them drugs, man. Kill yourselves off. All right? You're doing us a favor. And with that, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation to the Akim out there, pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. I love you, brothers. Keep up the faith. Endure. As you can see, these devils are through. All right? America's over. And with that, you know our slogan. 1, 2, 3, death to America. Shalom.